Alright, so obviously Unicron is the biggest news this week, but we've got more Transformers news, and we're starting off with Siege here. We're going to try and begin with the preview night and work our way forward chronologically of everything that happened this weekend, but no promises. First off, we've got Astrotrain. Now we've seen Astrotrain before. He was revealed before SDCC, but now we've got some actual pictures of him in the display case, not just CG renders. Now he looks fantastic. He's not like Classics Astrotrain who turned into a bullet train. He's not like Titan's Returns Astrotrain where he turned into a futuristic spaceship and an armored battle train. This is G1 Astrotrain. He's a space shuttle and a locomotive. Seriously, if he was any more G1, he'd be Masterpiece Astrotrain. In fact, I'd be interested to see him with some actual Masterpiece Decepticons and see if he fits. Now this is Siege Astrotrain, and Siege is supposed to be sort of a pre-Earth toy line. So it doesn't really make sense that he turns into an Earth space shuttle or steam train, but he's not the only offender in this line, so we're not going to hold it against him that it doesn't really make sense from a story perspective. I think most people are just happy to have him. But what's new here, and maybe I just didn't notice it, is that Astrotrain has this extra train cart in train mode, which we could see in the previous renders. But what we learned from these photos is that it can actually turn into a sort of launch pad platform when he's in shuttle mode. But it doesn't actually become part of the shuttle as far as I'm aware. It also brings up the question of what you're supposed to do with it when he's in robot mode. We see him pictured with it, you can store his guns in it, but other than that it doesn't seem to do anything. Maybe it can turn into some sort of turret or base for Micromasters or something. Wait, you know what it is? It's a trailer! Astrotrain has a little Optimus Prime-esque trailer. Now if you look closely at it when it's in Space Shuttle launch platform mode, you can see that it looks like the little gray bit in the front, which is separated from the rest, looks like it can come apart. And if those two parts were to come apart, they would not look unlike feet. Plus the fact that there are various ports on the trailer parts leads me to believe that there might be a secret combined or power-up mode where Astrotrain can combine with his little trailer. Although looking back at the original press release unveiling of Astrotrain, it says he comes with two JF-50 Ionic Displacer Blasters, the JF-30 Astro Blaster, the W-15 Destabilizer Cannon, and the W-40 Turbo Core Derailer. All 5 accessories can combine to form the Omniforce Orbital Cannon. So there's no mention of a robot combined mode, but there is this orbital cannon mode, which sounds like some sort of satellite to me, which we still haven't seen yet, so I guess we'll just have to keep waiting on that one. Next up is Spinister, who looks very good, very faithful to the original design. They even managed to work in how he has 2 cockpits on his legs, but only 1 cockpit in helicopter mode, which is still puzzling some fans how that works. The only thing that's disappointing about him is that while yes, he does come with 2 guns that look like his G1 Target Masters, they do not actually transform into robots. Which is ironic because Siege has Target Master-like robots in it already, so why didn't they just give him his 2 actual Target Masters or Battle Masters? Next up is Apeface, who was already revealed last month, but now he's in the flesh, or plastic. Funnily enough, they don't have him on display in Beast Mode. Weird. He looks pretty good, and Hasbro is hinting that we'll see his partner Snapdragon eventually. And the last of the old reveals is Crosshairs, who is just a repaint of Ironhide with a new head. And like Spinister, he was also a Target Master in G1, but here he doesn't come with a Target Master, or even a new weapon that looks like his Target Master. Just the same missile launcher hammer gun thing that Ironhide came with. Alright, time to get on to some new stuff. First off, in the same case as these 4, we have new Micromasters, but not just any Micromasters, but Micromaster Combiners.
This place is crawling with Micromasters! Micromaster Combiners, reconnect! What? Connected hundreds of combinations! And each half transforms into a robot. New Micromaster Combiners! Transformers!
These look pretty cool. I'm sure Micromaster fans are excited for these. Next up, we've got a 10-pack of Micromaster repaints. Very reminiscent of the old Universe Minicon 10-pack. If you want more details on these little guys and who they homage, I suggest going over and checking out my buddy Protoman's video on them over at Transformers Slag. But these look great. I love big packs of little figures like this. Definitely something you'll want to pick up if you're looking to bolster your Micromaster forces. Now, the last thing I think is new in this preview night display case, other than maybe this one Battlemaster guy, is 2 more cassettes for Soundwave. It's Rat-Bat and, well, I'm not sure which one this is supposed to be. Is it Rumble or is it Frenzy? You tell me. Either way, they both look great, other than the fact that it looks like the one who's not Rat-Bat looks to be doing a bit of a Tyrion Lannister, if you know what I mean. I'm hoping that he's just mistransformed, and that the arms and the legs can extend, and also give him a bit more articulation. Otherwise, this is a very short whoever he is. Oh, and I almost forgot. We've also got our very first figure for Rung. He is in robot mode and transforms into a thing. Technically, he's a Battlemaster, but from what I've read, nobody's supposed to know what he transforms into. So yeah, all you IDW fans will surely be happy to finally add this guy to your collection. I'm honestly surprised third party hasn't beaten Hasbro to the punch on this one. On to the preview breakfast, where we got our first look at something that a lot of fans have been asking for since they saw the original. It's a repaint 3-pack of the Reflector Bros, Spectro, Spyglass, and Viewfinder in their G1 toy colors. And they come with additional accessories not found in the normal single retail release that, when you combine them into camera mode, they add on to make a more convincing camera mode. So now you can get your cartoon accurate Reflector via retail, or you can pick up this G1 toy accurate version through the Hasbro Pulse website. The only thing they're really missing is individual heads, because on the original toys they all had unique heads, but here they reused the same one. It's a little thing, and I'm sure that if it bothers enough people, some third party will probably put out a 3-pack of heads or something. We've also got a couple repaints in the form of Sound Blaster and Silver Streak, but you know, repaints, what do you expect? Alright, so here's where I just start going in whatever order, because I've given up on trying to go chronologically. I just want to make sure I don't miss something. Okay, surprise reveal, we are getting a Rainmaker 3-pack of Acid Storm, Ion Storm, and Nova Storm. Which to me is incredible and hilarious because this means another high-priced set of previously BotCon exclusive figures have just lost a significant portion of their value. Although technically that set was different characters, Sunstorm, Hotlink, and Bitstream, and even though they were originally labeled Rainmakers, I think BotCon later retconned them to be the Welcoming Committee, as seen in the first episode of G1. Either way, this is probably going to be the definitive version of the Rainmakers for quite a while, since these guys actually turn into Tetrajets like they did in G1, unlike the old 2006 Seeker mold. Next up, we've got a couple more repaints in the form of Generation Selects, Lancer, and Galaxy Man Shockwave. Lancer is obviously a repaint with a new head of the Power of the Primes Moonracer mold, and the final component that you'll need to complete your Elita 1 Search for Alphatrine inspired all-female combiner, Orthia. Whereas Galaxy Man Shockwave is a straight grey repaint of the Siege Leader class Shockwave, meant to homage his old pre-Transformers and Radio Shack color scheme. Both toys I know some fans have really been hoping for, and if you were lucky enough to have bought them from the Entertainment Earth booth at SDCC this weekend, you also received little pins of them too. Next, at the Hasbro panel, I think the only new reveal was the fanvote 3-pack of Decepticon Impactor, Power Dasher Aragon, and Hollow Mirage. This is a weird 3-pack to me. Decepticon Impactor isn't really so much a repaint as he is a variant. He's the exact same color scheme more or less as the standard retail toy, except he has these black and yellow caution patterns in some places, and he's got a Decepticon symbol. And he has a smoother, rounder head, more like he did in the IDW comics, rather than the blockier head on the original. I don't get it. Apparently there was a point in the comics where Impactor goes bad, so that's what this is supposed to homage? But personally, I would have just preferred they do a completely different color scheme. Maybe repaint him as Turmoil or something instead. Power Dasher Aragon is an homage to one of the old Power Dasher toys, and he's just a red repaint of Cog with a new head. Kind of ugly if you ask me. Now this is the one that I really like, and the one I'd consider picking up this set for, Hollow Mirage, which really sounds like they misnamed him, because this isn't meant to be Mirage's Hollow avatar, it's meant to be Mirage when he goes invisible, much like the old BotCon 2006 toy, which I'm sure also dropped in price on eBay after this reveal. He also has a new head, one closer to his original toy's head, which I really like. If I could, I would just pick up this Mirage on his own, definitely, without a second thought. But in a 3-pack with these two stinkers, I'll have to think about it. Also, I wonder if Hasbro is planning to reuse this head for perhaps some kind of Diaclone Red Mirage in the future. Kind of like how Hasbro released that G2 Megatron with the very Megatron Origin style head. Do you think they'll release an actual Megatron's Origin Minor Megatron in the future? Which, by the way, this custom by Grimlockimus went for crazy money at the TFCon charity auction. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see an official one eventually. Moving on, I'm not sure if it was announced there or not, but we got new photos of Siege Ratchet. Apparently this is even out overseas already. Of course, he's a standard repaint of Ironhide with the new head. He also comes with a little repair drone weapon. And he's got kind of an official fan mode, which is meant to imitate his old G1 repair bay. Unfortunately, he's a Walgreens exclusive, so maybe he'll be a Toys R Us or EB Games exclusive in Canada and other parts of the world, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And finally, Walmart has revealed a pair of Siege exclusives that I am super excited for. It's Optimus Prime and Megatron in cartoon cel-shaded color schemes. These are actually the figures I am most excited for. I don't think Hasbro has ever done something quite like this with Transformers before, and I know I've been begging for something like this for a long time. These two look fantastic. I like how they didn't go too crazy with the cel shading, unlike some third parties, to the point where it stops looking like cel shading and more like camouflage paint. Here, they're perfect. It's just enough to give the desired effect of making these look like they rolled off the screen without going overboard on the paint deco. I will definitely be picking up this Optimus and Megatron. I definitely prefer this cel-shaded look over the battle damage paint job of most of the other Siege toys. Wow, how amazing would it be if every toy in the next Transformers line had this kind of cartoon cel-shaded paint job on them? I would buy every single figure released. Well, I guess that's it for all the Transformers Siege toys at SDCC this year. Let me know what you are most excited for. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, all that fun stuff. And I'll see you back here for more Transformers news and reviews and video games and all that other cool stuff. Alright, see you guys next time.